skills that may need some attention. The time for this speech is between 4 and 6 minutes. Thank you. Toastmaster?
Now, Sandeep is married and he has an 8-year-old daughter, and he's going to tell us about how his experiences when he landed in Canada. And the title of his speech is My Experiences Towards Becoming a Canadian. Welcome, Sandeep.
Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. My Canadian journey started in October 2005 when my wife received an offer from a Canadian company to work in Canada. She moved in October 2005, leaving my daughter and I behind in Delhi. And she informed me around a couple of weeks later that everything looks good and I can also quit my job and move over. Then around in December 2005, on around 28th of December, I landed with my daughter, who is 8 years now, straight to Calgary. As soon as I landed, I realized that something is going on in the air. And that was not the winter, that was the Boxing Day. And I could not believe that so much of advertisements about one Boxing Day sale is going on. And I had no idea at that point what Boxing Day is, and I was surprised to see that the country I am adopting loves the sport of boxing so much. And then I was coming from a place which had 13 million people, and Delhi, New Delhi, they have 13 million people, to a place which has 1 million. And I was fully prepared to see less people, less number of people, but I never thought that silence can be killing. Right? When I came here and I was in a downtown apartment, I know Vivian cannot relate to this at all, because she lives in a house. If you want to circle that house, it takes 1 hour, right? It takes 1 hour to circle that house. And I was in a downtown apartment in the night looking out to look at some kind of a sign of life, and I didn't see. And believe me, as a person who came from a place of 13 million to a 1 million, I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks. It was scary. Silence can be killing, I can tell you that. So, and then, like every new Canadian knows, that everybody who comes to Canada, so one time or the other, has to visit Hayes Building. Okay? Hayes Building is where the immigration services and all that stuff is. Around 15-20 days back when I visited there, and I was standing in the queue, and there I saw a huge portrait of an old lady. Okay? And I was surprised to see that picture. I said, she looks like Queen of England, and what is she doing here? At that time, I didn't even know anything about her being here. When I went back, I Googled, and I found that Canada was also, or is a part of the colony of UK. And before that, I didn't even know that. I received my first job offer from City of Edmonton 3 months later. Luckily, I got the job in the area I wanted, but not the place where I wanted. So I had to leave my kid and wife here to city to do a permanent job in a city office. Now, the first experience I had was with a lady who was showing me the apartment. That was my first day in Edmonton. And after showing me the apartment and all, she just said, oh, so everything is okay, all good, and she did like this. Okay, and I come from a generation of Indians who have never seen high five. Okay, she did this, and I holded her hands. And I holded her hands, and she was smarter than me. She understood that I come from a different background. She just did this, and we just parted, and I got saved, and I really laugh every day whenever I think of that.
Attention. The time for this speech is between 4
Married, and he has an 8-year-old daughter, and he's going to tell us about how, and the title of his speech is My Experiences.
Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, my Canadian journey started company to work in Canada. She moved and she informed me around a couple of weeks later that then around in December 2000, my daughter, who is 8 years now, straight to hell going on as soon as and that was, I could not believe that so much of advertisements about what one day is, and I was surprised to see that the country and then a place which had 13 million people and I was fully prepared to see less can be killing, right? When I came here, because she lives in a house, if you it takes 1 hour to settle that house, and I was in a downtown apartment, kind of a sign of life, and I didn't see that. So, and then if to Canada, so one time or the other has to visit his building. To Canada, so one time or the other has to visit his building. Around 15-20 days back, when I visited there, and I saw a portrait of an old lady. Okay, and I was surprised. Queen of England, and what is she doing here? At that time, I Googled and I found that Canada was also, and before that I didn't even know that. I received my first, I got the job in the area I wanted, but not the place, city, to do a permanent job in a city office. And now I was with a lady who was showing, and after the showing me the apartment and all, she, okay, and I come from a generation of Indians, and I hold it up hands. I come from a different background. She just did this, and I